Well, nearly 72 hours after the center of their community was blasted apart, literally incinerated, the people of Lac-Mégantic are still shaken, even as they heard some new details. Today, officials said some of them may be able to go home tomorrow. And police now say 13 people are dead, bringing to about 50 the number of dead or missing. For the first time, emergency crews were able to access new areas to assess the scene of the disaster. Now let's look back on what happened. It was 11:25 Friday night. The train stopped in the nearby community of Nantes. 5 minutes later, a fire on that train brought out the local volunteer fire crew. They managed to extinguish it quickly by about 12:15 Saturday morning. But in the next hour, the train began to roll downhill towards Lac-Mégantic. Then, at about 1:15 a.m., the first of several devastating explosions. The CBC's Catherine Cullen has the latest tonight, including some fresh questions of how it all happened. Catherine.
Mark, for the first time today, the CEO of the company responsible for the train spoke out, but he was certainly not embracing any blame for the disaster that has so profoundly hurt this community. This is what Ghislain Bisson saw as he fled.
But it happened so fast, just blew away. Big ball of light, and I said, oh my God, it's impossible. I cannot believe that's happening. Then I kind of look down toward downtown and I see that it's a river of flames.
Friends and loved ones are missing, and it's not safe for him to go home. Even if he could, he worries about what he would see.
We're probably going to have that view for the next 2-3 years, so we're not going to be able to forget. It's like a memorial to the dead.
Meanwhile, police continue their grim tally.
We have 13 people that have 13 bodies, 13 victims that have been found, that have been taken care of by the forensics laboratory, which brings the whole total of people missing to around 50.
The process is heartbreaking. The coroner is asking family members of the missing for hairbrushes, toothbrushes, anything with DNA samples of those feared dead. Today, the CEO of the Montreal Main Atlantic Railway Company had a blunt assessment of who's to blame for the disaster.
The shutdown of the locomotive caused the brakes to gradually release.
Fire officials in the nearby town of Nantes confirm they put out a blaze in the same train earlier that night. Then they left the train with 2 employees of the rail company. In your mind, is there any question that anything your guys did contributed to this?
No, that's not in my mind, and I know for sure that nothing that the firefighters did could have put the train in jeopardy.
Transportation Safety Board investigators and police are working to learn more. They've inspected several of the locomotives, and they have 2 of the black boxes that contain data about the brakes, while Bisson looks at what's left of his town.
We all know that the train brought all the town around here to life, but that night a train killed it.
Now, there was one piece of good news for people in the community here today. You may recall that at the height of all this, some 2,000 people were evacuated from their homes. A few have been allowed back. City officials saying today that perhaps 1,000, perhaps more, could be allowed back as soon as tomorrow. Mark?
All right, CBC's Catherine Cullen reporting again from here tonight. Catherine, thanks so much.